Hello everyone in DOYO Live universe. My name is Rachel Moore. I'm happy to be with you today and jumping on for your quick marketing shout out to help you guys with your content as we are all trying to traverse this whole digital marketing ecosystem. So glad to be with you today and take just a few minutes to share something that's been going on that you need to be aware of for your brand marketing, and which I think really brands and businesses can no longer ignore when it comes to their content. Now, you guys, if you look back about a year ago, brands really had to worry about content in the fact that they had to worry about their own homegrown content on their .com, blogging, newsletters, infographics, case studies, things like that. And they were all trying to push that stuff out, right? And that's all well and good. And we also were all focusing on actually being active on social media. Now, a lot of businesses don't actually do that as well as they can. And it's a ton of resource and time we spend on doing that. But it was something that we all knew we should be doing, all right? Usually if I spoke to business owners this time last year, they said, yep, I know I'm pushing my content out, but I know I actually need to be engaging on these platforms. You know, if I'm on Twitter, I should be tweeting. Okay, fine. If I'm on LinkedIn, I need to be on there. Well, guess what? Now we're a year later, we're today, and there are actually 3 different types of content that a business needs to be concerned about and incorporate into their digital content strategy, okay? And I'm not saying this to try to deter anybody, be like, oh God, 3, not 2, I have to do more things. These are all things that this is just the way the world has cycled around, the way the apps and the features that your audience and customers are seeing and using. It's the way that we are having to live in this space where we're trying to market ourselves. So just to help you out, there are 3 different types. And here's how we're going to just go down 1, 2, 3 quick hits. The first type of content is your scheduled content, okay? It's totally okay to schedule content. And I'm going to get to the part where we're actually active on social too. But it's okay during waking business hours to be pushing out tweets or Facebook messages or LinkedIn updates that include things from your website. So your blogs, you know, that really great blog you had about increasing sales and stuff like that. Or maybe you did an infographic. Or you've got a great testimonial from a client or a customer or a case study, anything like that. Or maybe you've pushed out a new pricing table or something like that. That's all stuff that is yours. You can schedule, you can push out pretty routinely at the best times on your platforms and the channels you're using to make sure your audience can see those, okay? And again, the whole point is that if somebody responds to that stuff, if somebody comments or asks a question, you do need to be present for that, which leads to the second type of content, number 2, which is active. You have to be active on social. I would never, never, never tell a brand, just schedule everything. Don't worry, it'll all take care of itself as long as you're just putting stuff out there. You don't really need to worry about, you know, being responsive or reactive or having your eyeballs on your social channels. No. That's backwards. You absolutely need to keep your eyeballs on it. And the whole point that you're pushing out that blog, that you're sending out that newsletter, is you want people to interact with it, right? You want people to click. You'd love it if they'd come back and ask you a question about what you shared, because guess what? That is a conversation. And usually when you can bring it to that human-to-human interaction, that is when you lead to conversion. So your whole goal when you do scheduled content out is to get to the active part of your content. This means you do need to be spending time with your eyeballs on your Facebook feeds, your LinkedIn profile feed, Twitter, YouTube if you have a YouTube channel, and actually go out and interact with people, comment, share, retweet, promote other people, get conversations going, okay? So the active part of your content, that is where your huge resourcing comes in. You need to have at least one person in your brand who is able to have eyeballs and interact as your brand on social media. It's even better, guys, if you're a CEO. It really makes a difference if you can be active on at least one social channel that just speaks loads to the credibility and the availability of your brand, okay? And lastly, so here's the third part that we really cannot ignore, okay? And that's the live content. Now, I'm not just talking about live streaming, okay? And I totally am versed in live streaming. I do it every week. I have 3 live stream shows per week, so I'm totally in that space. But live video or stories, things like that, where you have to not only be typing things on the computer, but you're actually delivering some gut raw, unproduced content to your audience. Like right now, I'm live. If I say something off, or if my cat decides to photobomb me behind me, I can't edit that out. This is a raw moment I'm giving you over live video. And that is actually what your customers are coming to expect from your brand marketing. They want to see the real you. Tons of opportunity there. You can put out press releases via video. You can do FAQs. Perfect content for live streaming. You can also do quick intros of staff or team members that your customers may not know, but once you can introduce them, they're like, oh, now I get what you guys do for me, and that's great. So a ton of different things you can do there. And also, I'm lumping in this whole stories thing in here too. If you guys have seen the little dots and bubbles along the top of your Facebook feed, there's Snapchat stories, Instagram stories. Again, that stuff can't be scheduled, and it is pretty raw and unproduced. And Instagram Live actually is the only one of those that actually has live streaming incorporated into the stories. But it's stuff that you have to be present for. A person actually has to be clicking or hitting that capture button to record or grab a quick still and show that in the moment. So the 3 types of content, again, that you need for your brand. Scheduled, go ahead and get stuff pushed out so you keep stuff evergreen that's still out there. Keep it in front of your audience faces. But then you get to active. The whole goal should be to be active and present. Be a human on social media so that people know that you're real and not a bot. And lastly, the live streaming. You do need to try to find some kind of venue to be live so that you can share that unproduced, credible, raw content to people so they know you're for real. It's our reality TV for business. Dennis has a question. What's the mix between live video versus planned branded content? Video, micro content videos, 1 to 15 second, 30 to 1 minute, and then long format documentaries. So obviously, a ton more time goes into creating a longer length video content. Okay. But honestly, guys, you can get the live video thing done with simply 5 minutes a week, honestly. For instance, these little stand-ups we're doing on the DOYO Live site, they're really only 5, maybe 10 minutes long. And that's totally fine because we're just giving you some quick hits that you can use in your content. If you want to know more, obviously you can reach out to me later and we can have a more extended conversation. But I'm giving you something you'd be like, let me think about that and start implementing that. So really, I'm not asking for the moon here. And again, if you start anywhere, start with your FAQs. Those questions people ask you all the time. Typically, people can cover something like that for 5 minutes once a week. And just find a platform where your audience typically is going to be, and you can go do that. So I would say live streaming is probably more like, again, maybe a 5% of your content, maybe less, depending on how much content you have. If you guys have a really active, great website with a ton of good blogs, infographics, case studies, you have a very content-rich site, that's great. You have a ton of things you can push out there, including some pre-recorded or a little more produced videos. That stuff's great. You can keep pushing that out. But the live thing of being active and live on social absolutely needs to be incorporated into your strategy. And as far as being active on social, I usually tell business owners 10 minutes a day on LinkedIn, if that's what their platform of choice is. You can accomplish a lot through just skating through the timeline and the feed for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the afternoon, just to get that engagement rolling. And you'll find as you start engaging, people will engage with you, you will build more relationships and build more business. So with all that, I hope that was helpful. I am so looking forward to being at DOYO Live in August and just giving you guys some insights as far as Facebook Live. Very excited about that. So I hope you guys can make it. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, not just here on social, but actually in person. Because I really do feel social media is coming full circle, particularly through live video, where we're all getting a little more personal again and not just typing behind keyboards anonymously to everybody. So great to make contact with you here through this page, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you, Dennis, for the opportunity. And I will talk to you guys soon about some more content marketing and live streaming, and see you at DOYO Live.